One question that I've been dying to ask is who came up with the melody of Move? Out of
That was
it was you?
It's actually special because
The 90s thing, I think, because we've been seeing a lot of comments about that, but
Yeah.
that wasn't
It
intentional.
was kind of unintentional.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
kind of
There you
happened.
go.
say Dennis, you mostly have a lot of the bigger plans like ahead.
The visionary,
Yeah.
if you will.
Okay, cool. I love that. Hello and welcome to the For the Glory podcast. This is a branch off of our company, For the Glory, which we started January 2024, basically to champion what God is doing in the music industry worldwide. And on this podcast, we talk a lot about music and culture from a Christian perspective. My name is Sophia. I'm a worship leader, marketing professional, and co-founder of For the Glory. And today I am joined by Dennis, Emmy, Ella, who together make up R&B pop group LIN D. What an honor to be here with you guys. How are you guys?
Hi, we're good.
good.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, it's an honor.
Of course. Yeah, all the way from Sweden. Such an honor to be connected with you guys from all the way across the globe. So thank you for making the time. I thought we'd just jump straight in and ask you a bunch of questions that I've been really wanting to ask you guys. I've been following along the journey for a while now, but I know that you are siblings, all three of you, based in Sweden. So, I mean, my first question would be, do you guys plan on staying in Sweden? Because a place like Sydney, where, you know, there's not like really a music hub, or it's like kind of growing. But, you know, Sweden, I wouldn't say is like instantly I think of music. Do you guys plan on staying there, and how does that like impact your career
Yeah.
choices?
Good question.
We've been thinking about this question for like a long time, just
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
and forth. We're grateful to live in a time where, I mean, we can work through social media, we can do video
Yeah.
calls, we can meet people without being in the same room. So that's
Yeah.
I think the short, honest answer is that we don't know, but that we are looking into ways that we could be more, spend more time in the U.S. or in other countries. So we don't know if that means moving or just being longer periods of time. Like, we'll see.
Yeah, that's cool. Where do you feel like you found the most connections, like or the most like fruitful, you know, friendships in the music industry based on location?
We've been the most to like the Nashville world and also
Yes.
Atlanta, and so mostly in the US.
and
Also
London too, I would say.
London. We've been
Cool.
going to a few times this year too. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
That's so
Like
there's not
outside of Sweden.
outside
Yeah.
of Sweden,
Yeah.
yeah, because we have a community here, but not as big at all as like in the US or yeah, one of
Yeah.
those places.
But we haven't been to like Australia and stuff, so that would be also
Oh, you gotta come. Yes, maybe we can have a chat afterwards. That would be so cool. Yeah, I would love to have you. I'm sure there's a big market for you here as well. What would you say? You know, you've been around touring. You've been a part of like you've been a part of LIN D for how long has it been now? What had the group together?
So we started the group in like 2017, 18, around that
Yeah.
time. But we've been doing music with the family since we were small kids.
Yeah, so cool. What did that look like? So were you always touring, or were you always releasing, or was there like
Yeah.
a time where you flipped into doing all of that?
Pretty much.
When
Yeah.
we were small kids, we traveled around with our whole family, and we still travel a lot with our family still. But so we went around like churches and different like family services and stuff when we traveled around in Scandinavia and Europe and stuff. So yeah, but then we grew older. That was more connected to like Christian children's music.
Yeah, so we did 6 albums with Christian kids music mostly in Swedish before
Crazy. Yeah,
Lindy.
Yeah.
that's so cool. And when did you like make the decision to stop doing that, flip into like this really distinct sound that you guys have now? I feel like, I mean, I was listening to a bit of your discography, and it's like the last couple of projects has just been like sonically so different, which I love. I mean, it's definitely down my alley. But did you guys have like a turning point, or like you came together and you put your brains together and thought, what are we going to do next? Or how did that look?
Yeah.
I think it's been a process. You always like develop and like change, I guess, what you listen to most and what your style is. But since like 2017, 18, that's when we started LIN D, and then we didn't write the songs ourselves. Our parents did, and a
Wow.
couple other writers too. And
Cool.
so we started with that. So that's kind of how the music sounded because of that. And then it's evolved into us writing and producing. Dennis produces pretty much everything that we do.
So cool. Yeah.
So I think the sound also has changed because of that. And the pandemic was actually a big like turning point sound wise because we got more time to really just like be in the studio and just work on our sound and what we like, yeah, just a new direction, I guess.
Mm, that's
Yeah.
cool. Was it easy for you guys to like come to an agreement on that? Because there's three of you. I know I have siblings of my own, and sometimes it's hard to like make a decision and go somewhere. Is there one of you that's like the visionary, and you guys kind of like follow through, or what does the dynamic look like in decision making?
I don't know if sound wise. I mean, we're all pretty much enjoy different types of music, but also we can all find like
Common
common
ground.
ground in what we
That's good.
like listening to. So
Yeah.
I would say we all have kind of, yeah, control over like the sound and stuff and what we want to put out and an agreement in that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I would say
That's
Dennis,
awesome.
you mostly have a lot of the bigger plans like ahead.
The visionary,
Yeah.
if you will.
Okay. Okay, cool. I love that. And so you guys just released Honest to God very recently, which was so cool. I've been bumping it like literally every day. I feel like it's so fun and it's so refreshing and stylistically just like I don't know, it takes me back to almost like the 90s. I don't know if you guys were going for that, but it definitely has that vibe. But I'd love to hear what you guys just chat us through it and also what inspired the name behind it and like the heart behind the whole project. Was it like a long time coming or something that happened
Yeah.
really quick?
So, like, first with the 90s thing, I think because we've been seeing a lot of comments about that, but
Yeah.
that wasn't
It
intentional.
was kind of unintentional.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
kind of
There you
happened.
go.
Our
There you go.
inspirations, our inspirations for the album and the songs weren't like specifically like old school vibes or
No?
we've just written music that we enjoy and then apparently it's
Apparently that's old school.
That's it. Yeah, I love that. That's cool.
Yeah, but we like last year we took 2-3 months writing every day, just a bunch of new stuff, and the songs that has come out this year is from that period. So we wrote them like a year ago, and wrote also a bunch of other music that's not gonna come out. uh, as you do. But it's been a journey, and we've been sitting on these songs for a long time and just been trying to figure out the right time to release it and the right packaging and how we can like add more to the message
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
everything with
I just
content,
saw
and
yeah.
Bible
I
plan.
just saw the Bible plan. That was so cool.
Mm.
How did that come about? I'm sure there's lots of like Christian artists that would probably want to do that and maybe are listening. Like, how did you guys even land that? That was so cool.
Yeah, so long story short, we've been praying for having an opportunity to put out Bible plans for years. With, as we said, with me having a lot of visions and dreams, I wrote that down in like 2022 as
Cool.
something that we wanted to do. And then, as every other artist, we didn't know how to connect with people or like how to get to that. And then just this summer, we got contacted by the Bible app because
YouVersion.
they had
Yeah,
seen
you version.
our songs and stuff and wanted to partner with us and said that, hey, do you want to make a Bible plan for something? It could be tied to a project or something. And
We were like,
yeah,
perfect.
perfect.
That works
It-
perfectly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so crazy how God's timing has just been all over this project, and just this summer has been incredible in that way. We've seen so many like dreams come true, like for us personally, but also one of our dreams has been that the music would reach far outside the like Christian community. Because even though we write about our faith, and the title "Honest to God" is like, the songs are very very like raw and honest, and the most like vulnerable we've ever been, even though some of them are like packaged in a like fun pop song. They're very honest and very vulnerable.
Totally.
And we've seen that the sound travels outside of like our usual like Christian listener, which has been very cool, because they like, people first hear the sound and then they like get the lyrics and then like, oh wait, this is about God, like
It's literally just evangelism with music. I love it. That's so cool.
It's been so cool to see.
Yeah. Would you guys feel comfortable with me asking, there were some themes that you guys mentioned. I can't remember the name of the song right now, but it was, in a black dress, wiping my sister's tears. Was that like a moment of grief that you were referring to that happened recently?
Yeah. I mean, we did experience very recently our grandmother pass away. And this song, we wrote it before that, and because our grandfather passed away almost 4 years ago, a few years back. And that was the first like loss in the family that we had experienced. And it was very special because he was a pastor and had walked with God like his whole life, and very much preached a lot about like power and healing, and we all prayed, and all over the country people prayed, and all over the world. So when we didn't see the answers that we expected, it created a lot of questions for us. So that's pretty much what Lord, I Need You is about. It's our questions to God, just about the loss of our grandfather, and it also applies very much to our situation now with our grandmother too.
Yeah, that's so real. I've definitely experienced a similar thing. There was I'm a youth leader, and there was one of our kids who was only 15, and there was just this crazy accident that happened to him, and he was then put in a coma, and I was believing that he would be raised and come out of this and live, and I had so much faith for it. And like, we also believe in praying for healing, and that's still something that the Lord does. And there was this song, I don't know if you know it, I Speak Jesus. Yes, so we were singing that at church, and like, we all were just like fired up with this faith, and like it turns out that wasn't what happened, and he did pass away. And so it was really hard for me to like reconcile that with myself, because I had such big faith for it. So I really appreciate you being vulnerable with that. And also it's kind of a cool testimony, because at first I couldn't listen to that song anymore. So every time it would come up, I would have like these really negative emotions, and I would just be like, it was just like really not a nice feeling. So I asked a friend of mine to pray over me and to like cast that out, and it was like completely gone. And now it's again one of my favorite songs. So it no longer is related to that kind of grief anymore. It's been healed and reconciled. So praise the Lord for that. But I feel like just conversations like this is so needed and talked about. Like we need to talk about it more.
And I hear you with the song, because I had the same thing with Waymaker around that time.
Yeah, that's real.
I think it's been a process for us, like realizing that not all promises that God makes we're gonna see here on earth.
So true.
We were really holding on to that Bible verse where it says that by his stripes we're healed. But then just like realizing that our grandfather and grandmother and your youth group member as well is now healed in heaven. And just like in our song, we're just coming back to that. But wait, Jesus is our only hope. And yes, we have a lot of questions, and maybe we won't get them answered here. But we're also just like coming back to that. But there is no other hope than Jesus, and
literally.
our life in Him, and just the hope of eternity. So it really has put things into perspective, and I think you hear that in that song specifically, but also like throughout the album.
The whole album, 100%. Yeah,
Mm.
totally. That's so cool. Yeah, thank you so much for that album. I don't know if anyone's just like thanked you for that, but thank you for the time and the effort that you put through it.
Thank
And
you.
obviously the production. The production was crazy. I'm a big fan of it, and I'm excited to see what you guys continue to put out. But we talked a little bit about worship music, and I wanted to ask you guys, how do you guys approach? So when you have like this, you have this gifting. Do you feel kind of pressured to also be like on the worship team at your local church? And are you on the worship team at your local church? Does it like, is
yeah.
it something you want to do?
Yeah,
we
good
are.
We are very much involved in church as much as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we've been that since, I started playing drums in church at like 9. And we've been in the same church our whole lives. The church that
Awesome.
our grandfather that passed away started.
Oh,
Uh,
beautiful. Okay.
So, worship has been a part of our lives throughout the whole journey,
Yeah.
like before even LIN D. It's not
Yeah.
something that we got on after. Um,
So it's
And,
not been like a pressure to be a part
Yeah.
of the worship or anything. We've always been a part as much as we can when
Yeah.
we're home. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and we're
That's
trying
beautiful.
to, because worship is songs to God.
Yes.
And we have some lyrics that are like more pointed, as we say, vertical. But we also have horizontal songs to people.
Yes.
So I think you'll just have to try and differentiate, um, like in what space you are in, and not confuse the two.
Yeah.
But like we love both,
Mm.
and our music is our music, but worship is also very important to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. That's cool. Do you guys also write outside of this project, like outside of the LIN D project? Do you have other things that you're a part of?
A few other stuff. Sometimes we just get on some other projects to write for other people. I work and do some production and writing for like Asian music and others, like completely other stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
Or music, but we try to put as much as like time and effort as we can into LIN D.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
put most of our time into LIN D when it comes to the writing and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that. And my one question that I've been dying to ask is who came up with the melody of Move?
Oh,
Out of the
that was
three of you. It was you?
It's actually special because pretty much all of the songs we write, we do together. Like we mostly
Yeah.
sit down and have a session, all three of us. And I don't usually just sit down and the melodies don't just come to me like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just sitting on my phone or something, and then I was singing just different melodies, trying different riffs, I think, and then the Move chorus came to me, and I tracked it, and then I was like, why not just write a verse and a pre and stuff? So I just did
Why not?
the whole melody thing, and then we all wrote like lyrics, and Dennis produced the whole thing, and yeah.
Yeah. And look at you go now. That's crazy. That's amazing. Do you guys feel like there was one song that kind of flipped the switch for you guys, like in terms of audience response? Like, because I feel like, one of the biggest ones for me was Move. Like, I definitely caught on to what you guys were doing in that moment when you released that. But I'm sure there was other things as well along the journey. Is there one that sticks out to all of you guys?
It was definitely Move. I would say.
Yeah. And the song that most people like has found us from and connected to.
Yeah.
There's been songs along the journey, but Move is definitely the biggest one.
The funny thing is that we
didn't really have that.
Yeah, we didn't expect that at all.
No.
Like
Really?
like a week before we put it out, we're like, yeah, it's cool if some people like it.
We liked it, but we weren't like, oh, this is the
one.
song.
Yeah.
We had actually we were planning on releasing Honest to God earlier this summer. So we had like a release planned out for
Yeah.
it to go like faster. So right after Move, we had another release, and then another release, and then we were gonna release the album. But then, so we didn't expect Move to like have
Do
as
what it
big
did.
of a moment as it did. And then
Wow.
when we saw what happened, we were like, okay, wait, maybe we should
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
give it some
Make
space.
a moment.
Yeah,
Yes.
we did a remix. Yeah, and that's also been dreams of ours just coming true.
But we did see, Dennis talked about we had a period of time just writing a bunch of new music, like last year. That's where this whole album came from. And yeah, we have a bunch of music that we haven't released yet. We're planning on releasing more music, of course. But yeah, so I would say we just like restarted everything on our social media, just did everything from scratch and said like, okay, this is a new era. This is what
Yeah.
we've been working on. This is us now. So I would say from that we've seen people connecting with this new thing we have going on, and I think it's
Mm.
probably because it's just more us and more open and more vulnerable, like we've talked about, and people can connect with that. And so we've
Mm.
seen it with the first song we put out was also, yeah, got some more um, traction than what we have seen before. That's Yahweh from this
Yeah.
project. So yeah, we've
True.
just we're grateful that people can see the heart behind it.
Yeah. 100%. What would you guys say that your role as LIN D is in the music industry, like the Christian music space? Because I mean, I'm under the impression that everybody has their own role and everyone's playing their part. So, like, you know, the Forrest Frank, maybe he's called to like bring conviction and bring like truth and shake up things that were once the same. And then there's other things. Like, do you guys feel like there's some like a strong calling on you, or are you still figuring that out the three of you?
Um,
Good
I
question.
think in one way we don't really think about like the industry or like the like other people when we do what we do. We
Yeah.
try to stay focused on our mission and what God has put on us. But if it's something that we bring that like is more unique, probably is, I mean, obviously we're from Sweden.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like the sound, I think because Sweden is a big country when it comes to melodies and pop and a lot of great producers and
True.
songwriters and artists. So I think we can kind of bring something there in that world and we try to tie together because we grew up on like gospel music and old school music, worship music, but also being from Sweden, we grew up with a lot of like great pop music. So we try to tie those two worlds together.
And bring that maybe into the Christian music scene also, because uh, yeah, there's not a lot of people from Sweden doing
No.
it in that space.
Yeah, and we also like with the content and lyrics and everything. Sweden is not a very Christian country today. It used to
Mm.
be like
Okay.
100 years ago. But now it's one of the most secularized countries in the world. So
Wow.
I would say our like day to day is very different from someone in the U.S. or Australia
Right.
or
Yeah.
Depending on where you live,
depending
of
on where you
course.
live.
Yeah.
So that
Totally.
perspective, I think, can also like benefit people like all over the world.
Mm.
So it will be a
That's
combination of
cool.
that, but we don't really
Yeah.
think about it when we create. We just
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
Yeah.
We
actually
just do our thing.
yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool thing about you. We were talking about like where we live. I think it's
Mhm.
pretty cool that we can be here. We're not even like in the capital of Sweden. We're like in our hometown and just
Yeah.
writing our music in the studio in the basement. And um, I think there's some kind of charm in that we've just been like here,
Yeah.
just
Totally.
completely remote, like not in some sort of industry or something. It's
Hub.
pretty
Yeah. Yeah.
cool to
Yeah.
have
That's cool.
completely just been able to tap in with what we want to do and not be too influenced maybe. But I mean,
Mm.
we love taking trips over and writing with people in the industry too. So there's nothing like bad
not
about
against
that.
it
No, we're
at
not
all.
against it, but it's just cool
Yeah.
that we can have a bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like if I was an artist, I would want that too. That sounds really good.
Mm.
That sounds healthy, you know.
Mm.
What's been the response that you guys have had in your like own spheres? So you said like Sweden's not very Christian as a country. So, you know, if you're doing like a show in Sweden in your hometown, or you're like on the way somewhere, is there like often conversations that you guys have about the fact that you're a Christian band? Or like what does that look like? Or are you kind of do you often find yourself in like a group of a lot of Christians, like church friends and stuff?
Mm.
I think a lot of our community is Christian here. Like our closest friends, most of them are like in our church, or yeah, just from this community. But we definitely have heard like our like non-Christian friends or non-believers. We actually haven't met like negative feedback almost at all, which is rare
In Sweden.
in Sweden.
Yeah.
Wait,
But with
what are you referring to?
well,
Social media.
social media, the
Yeah.
comment section.
That's
Um,
hard.
we haven't seen a lot of negative things there either.
Okay,
Thank God.
cool.
But in
Yeah.
Sweden, it is pretty common if you're like, especially Ella, like in her class in school, when she told people she was a Christian, they were like, "How? Like,
They almost laughed at me, like
Yes,
what? Why?"
I can relate.
people's like they think, oh, okay, you're still doing that. I mean, people,
You're not smart.
Yeah, people think it's
That's-
like that's what people believed 100 years ago. Like
Yeah.
you still
Yeah,
do that.
that's the same here that I've experienced. It's like, oh, okay, maybe one day you'll come to your senses.
Exactly.
Right.
Maybe you will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
it's
think
tough.
it is tough. But with that said, we like our friends and people that we know who aren't Christian are so positive to what we do, and they
So
just
cool.
like they love that it's like about our faith, and they think it's cool, and which is a testimony in itself that they really see, they hear the music and they see the heart behind it, and they just support it, which is super cool.
Yeah, that's cool. And not to keep talking about Sweden all the time, but I'm just so curious because I actually haven't been there. But what kind of communities would you say you're plugged into in order to like get you, you know, feeling like you're not the only ones in the world doing this? Are there like online community spaces or group chats and stuff like that that you've made before even going overseas?
Well,
I would
yeah.
say, I mean, we have a great community here in Sweden, like a local community in church, and also like since we travel a lot, we meet a lot of other people in the country. So the Christian community is, I would say, quite close here,
But
because
when it
it's
comes,
not the biggest, but like we're friends.
but that's like in our like life in general, and like we have a big Christian community. But when it comes to the music, I
Yes.
wouldn't say we have a big community here. With like people, there are some people doing like Christian music outside of worship, but not a lot. Like nothing compared to the U.S. or like. So we found I would say bigger communities overseas, or yeah, we went to London not that long ago and met. There's a big like amazing community there too. So
Yeah. But I wouldn't say it's like a group chat with a lot of people. It's more like we FaceTime this person and we have a group chat like us three and this person.
Yeah.
It's more like relationship.
Organic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Because I only asked because our team at For the Glory, we're starting something called Glory Gather, and it's basically an online community space for Christians within the music industry. No matter if
Right.
you're an artist or a manager, or just like anyone in the Christian music space globally. So I mean, we're wanting to. The idea is to develop and disciple Christian artists and Christians in the industry because oftentimes there's like a lack of discipleship, or maybe like it's hard to get to church, or maybe there's like, you know, you've got the talent, but you don't have any of the skills to like release. And so like, you know, filling in those gaps. I guess I'm curious to hear from your perspective, like what something like that, how you would want to see that happen, like what you would love to see on that kind of community, or just at large, like what do you want to see in the music industry like happening in the future? Like what are your goals for it?
We've been talking about exactly this, especially in Sweden as well. Just how can we help people? Not that we know everything, but we know some things that we can
Yeah,
share. So how can we do that? And I think some kind of community is like essential. And we have each other through like the three of us, which helps a lot because even doing this together, we can feel very alone at times, and lonely. So that's super, I mean, important, and give like the practical stuff, like how do you release or how do you make a song or whatever, but also like the discipling things. So you have both, because they're like both important.
Yeah.
Some people focus maybe too much on the practical stuff, and some people like more on the discipling and not the practical. But if you have both, I think that's a winning concept. So love to hear what you're doing and what you're starting.
Yeah, and I think it's been so important for us meeting people and having community and having people to also look up to
yes,
inspire us and to give us like tips and tricks, and
Ask
also
questions.
and just yeah, to ask questions. And I think for example, we were on tour last year with Lecrae, on the Winter Jam tour in the US, and we got to talk a lot to him and just ask questions, and he was so encouraging and shared with just wisdom, and it just yeah, it's important to feel like you're not alone in what you do, because we are also in like in the Christian space, we are one body, and
exactly.
we're supposed to be united and not like fight against each other, because it's somewhat of a like competitive um,
Mm.
business, but it really should be just us just championing each other because we're all working for the same goal. So having like a community like that, it's so important for that purpose too. Like we're doing this, we have the same purpose, we have the same goal. We want to reach people and we want to impact people with the message of Jesus. So yeah, it's so important for that too.
Come on, preach. I love it. Yeah, that's super encouraging, and yeah, we'll definitely keep you updated. We're just like in the planning stages of it. But yeah, it's important to hear what people are after, because it's like you can start this community and it can just flop because you didn't actually reach what people actually need. Or like it's like a group chat and it's just like super spammy because everyone's like, oh, this is my new release. It's like, are we really getting anywhere? You know, are we building each other up? Are we like being there for each other? Are we collabing? Are we keeping each other accountable? Those kinds of things. So I feel like that's where the heart is. So yeah, super encouraging to hear that from you guys. Before we go into the putting you on segment, where I'll ask you guys for a song, do you guys have any like final things you'd want to say to like encourage maybe Christian artists that are just on the come up? Maybe they're from similar places like Sweden or even like Sydney, where they feel like it's hard. Do you have any like advice that you would have loved to have heard from the beginning?
It sounds cliche, but work hard for real. Like that's we've really seen God do more, and really we've been very patient and been working hard for a long time, and we've wondered sometimes like when things are gonna happen, or when more people are gonna get to hear the music, but to stay consistent and believe in the gift that God has given you, and doing it for God, and what you believe is in His will. I think just to stay consistent and keep working hard, and that you will see the fruit of that.
And pray and keep God first in
Yeah.
everything. Because we could never do this like on our own, in our own strength. It's so many things that's happened just the last couple of months that we could never plan on our own. It's just God things. And just like the parable about the talents in the Bible, like do the most with what you have. Don't look at what other people have, or if they have more or less or whatever. Like God has given you what you should have, and just do whatever you can to multiply that in the best way, and learn, ask questions about the practical stuff, but also about the discipling stuff. I would say.
Yeah, and I think just being open also to that it doesn't always look like what you think, and what you maybe expect or hope, but God has the best thing for you, and it maybe doesn't always look like you have the biggest stages and like the most streams and everything, but I think when you really put hard work into, as they said, like making the most of what you've been given, He's gonna do what he wants to with it, and it maybe reaches one of your non-saved friends, but that's amazing. That isn't like something to look down on, and that we have seen for a long time in reaching like the small masses,
Yeah.
and now it's reaching a bigger audience, but just not looking down on what God can do. Yeah, with what God wants to do with what you have.
Yeah, and dream big.
Yeah.
Dream big.
Come on. That's a good one. Yes. Oh, that's so encouraging. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, so which one of you is going to put us onto some cool music?
Go for it.
Okay. So we have a friend. He's releasing a project soon that we're actually going to be a part of. But he's already released a couple singles from that project, and one of them is "Come to the Father," and it's by young Kriss. It's really great.
Yeah, we love that guy.
Yeah,
Oh my
he
gosh.
sent it, like we knew that we were on like on the project, and then he sent the whole thing, and we listened through, and when we heard that song, we're like, okay.
Okay. Here it is. Okay, look.
You've got mail.
This might be your favorite. Come to the Father, fall into love again. You don't need nada, He has it all to give. No, you've been running from all of that pain within, but I know a Father whose love is unlimited, and you can come again, 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 again.
Come on. It's just so good. Like Christian R&B and pop these days is just off the chain, man. I love that. It's so cool. And when did you guys meet young Kriss?
We haven't met him.
We haven't, just on
Haven't met
FaceTime
him yet?
for now. Yeah.
There you
So we
go. That's how it
connected
works.
just over social media, and then we've just kept in contact. I don't
Yeah.
think we've met overseas yet.
No, I
No,
don't think so. We
but
have met his good friend Don Reddy, who's
Oh,
also an
yeah.
artist, and yeah, so kind of through him we got
Yeah.
in contact.
We're just so proud of our friends, man.
Yeah.
That's so
And there's like we
amazing.
play a bunch of more stuff that we just have a lot of friends who's releasing like fire music right now. So
Yeah. Sorry,
that's
guys.
one.
I told them just one song.
Yeah.
Crazy, yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for putting us on, and thank you for chatting with us. This has been honestly such a privilege. So I really appreciate you guys and for your time.
We're
you.
honored.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you
we
for having us
appreciate
on.
you.
Thank you so much. And everyone go stream their music. LIN D, Honest to God, out now. Let's go.
Thank you.
So good.